Well, welcome everyone. It is my first time doing a webinar, so it might not be perfect, but I always aim to be as close to perfection as possible. Thank you for writing who is home inspector and and who is realtor or homeowner. That's a class that I want to have for everyone. Mainly for realtors, but everyone can get some tips from here and hopefully apply them to real life. So as home inspectors, you can maybe keep some notes for things you might apply in your business. And I will ask with one question. So what did you study as kids? What was your major? For some could be biology, chemistry, math that they wanted to follow. They wanted to be instructors, mathematicians, who knows. But looking where you are now, we are all sitting in this room, and where life brought you. Did you follow what you studied? Did you follow what you needed? Did you become a home inspector because that's what you wanted always? Some yes, some no. But I'm from Greece, and allow me to bring Socrates as as an example. He was a philosopher, and he said one thing that I love. He said, "I know one thing that I know nothing." And what does that mean? That whatever I do, I go with the mindset that I don't know anything. And what that allows me to do is to learn new things. So here we are, this webinar, we aim it to be a real life tool for the inspectors, but for realtors mainly, but as I said, everybody can learn. And hopefully we will get some education all together. And from that education that I may transfer to you, then you can actually educate your realtors, your inspectors, your family. This is my view, and maybe another inspector in another state not do the things or the way that I do it. So that's perfectly fine. There is no right or wrong. Feel free to keep notes, and I would love to ask any questions of yours in the end, just because I like to have a process. Yeah, so let's dive into the decoding a home inspection report. All right. So first of all, who am I? Like, who is this guy with a thick accent that is here to teach you, right? Well, I am, as I said, from Greece. I was born in Athens, and I met my wife that she's from Athens too, but Athens, Georgia, not Athens, Greece. It's a nice thing though that we started with something common for when we first met, icebreaker. But then I went from construction to home inspections. I came in USA in 2012, and actually as of last year I have my dual citizenship. But I went to construction management. I got my construction management degree, and then I was working in construction at the same time. And from that, my boss was like, you annoy me. Because we were going for one project, and I was like, but that's wrong, and that's wrong. From what we learned, that's wrong too. Did you say something to the owner? Maybe, you can get more business. So he's like, you know what? You need to become a home inspector. That's how I started. I was working under someone else, and after that, I opened my own Owl's Eye home inspections. So yeah, with all these, I have like 8.5 years of experience. And after that, I became a certified master inspector by InterNACHI. I really think that I owe a lot to InterNACHI because I learned everything. And the continuous education is perfect. For some, certified master inspector is just a title. I don't say it like something that you all have to be. For me, it actually, I saw that it shows some credibility to the realtors, to the owners that they call me and they want an inspection. And I say, hey, what it means, what that title means to you is that I have at least 1,000 inspections under my tool belt. That means I have some kind of experience, because let's be real, they see our face as inspectors only when we arrive to the property. Sometimes they see our website and they see who we are and how we look like. But other than that, they probably just call us and they say, okay, arrive that day, that time, and we'll see you there. So it's nice to give them some kind of backstory of who you are and why you are good for them. Keep that in mind. You can talk to them about experience. You can talk to them about the certified master inspector. It's something that makes you unique. Now, let's continue, just so you could have a backstory. That's what I wanted. Okay, so what to expect from a home inspector? And as I saw here, a lot of you are already inspectors. So we want to give the minimum, right? But the minimum should be the best. So the minimum should be the best standards that you can provide. You don't want to give to them to know that you are not experienced. You are new. You might be new, but you still can be good because you learned your things. You went to your classes. You did your mock inspections. So you want to explain all these. Now, as I said, this PowerPoint is mainly for the realtors. So I want to explain how do they find a great home inspector? How do they judge to see a home inspector, if he's good, not? And before we dive into to decode the report, allow me to explain a few things that I at least apply, and maybe it can help you as home inspectors or as a realtor to know what you want to look for. All right. So I know, you can be shh about it, but we all know that some realtors call some of the inspectors deal killers. But what is a deal killer? Is it the one that just does a good job? Is it the one that does too good of a job, too thorough? But what are we supposed to be? We're supposed to be detailed. We're supposed to be honest, and that's what you want from your inspector. Thorough inspection is important for you as realtors, as homeowners, as my clients, as everybody, every inspector's clients. Detailed report is even more important to me, at least. If we miss deficiencies, there is a problem, right? Of course, you don't want to miss deficiencies. But if we cannot communicate the deficiencies we did find properly to the clients, then there is a big problem again. We need to find that fine line and walk on that line. It can be the difference between like ignorance and knowledge, or not caring enough to mention something, or to be too scary with what we say. It's not only what you find, it's how you communicate that to your clients, realtors, everybody. So how do we do that? How do we walk to that fine line? Well, let's see. Two ways. We have the verbal and the written. You need to find out, is the things that the inspector can do well, and you know that, okay, this is a good inspector. Does he prepare the client on the phone? When the client first calls and says, hey, I want an inspection. Okay, well, this is what's included with my inspection, and this is what's not included. Information, that's very important. I also give 30 minutes on average after the inspection, and I explain to the client that is there my major findings, things that could be very important for his safety or his pocket. If they are not there, I might call them on the way to the office and be like, hey, I'm done with the inspection. Can I tell you what I found? So things like that will make the realtors trust you. The realtors will be happy. The clients will be happy because they know what's going on. You keep them updated. And then you have the written. The written is, of course, the report. But is the report going to be delivered the same day? Did we say that in the beginning when we talk with the client? Is the report detailed? Like, do you have different sections? Do you not have different sections and just say, I will only report the major things? You know, I don't do that. I try to be detailed, to be honest. Some people like that, some people not. My clients so far are super happy. So, and key for those, by saying detailed in a report, I don't mean that you have to write an essay for every deficiency, but short sentences is a key. I don't see us really need a full paragraph until something is connected with something else. That interior wall with soil stain or discoloration, and what's going on? Should we check the exterior? Oh, we check the exterior. Is it a flashing? Is it something wrong? Then you might need to explain more. But that's the only time that I think you need to write more than 2 sentences. And again, that's what I believe. Now, let me give you a real life example. Someone called me, and he told me that he had an inspector, and that inspector reported that he found moisture in the basement, that he found all this efflorescence and discoloration, and all the levels of the moisture being excessive and things like that. Where did he go wrong? He didn't put any illustrations, no pictures, no videos, no nothing. The homeowner goes there, he doesn't see anything. He calls contractors, they don't see anything. So I wasn't there. I didn't go to see if there was an issue or not. But from that, I grabbed this, and I remember it now, that you have to have illustrations. You have to show and support what you say. It's visual, and it's easy for them to see and clarify what are you talking about. So communication, again, that's very important. Now, another factor is that you have to be unbiased, to give just the facts. And sometimes this means that you have to eliminate emotions. As sympathetic as we want to be to the client, because he might really want that house, but we might find an issue, then we might need to eliminate emotions and say, all right, so this is the problem, and this is what I have to report, and I understand your pain, but I can't do anything, because there will be one or two that will ask you, can you change what you write in the report, especially coming from realtors. It happened to me more than 2 times, but it happened to me. And the answer is no. We are there to observe and report. All right. Now, full service is another thing. The more you give to the realtors and the clients, the more happy they are and the more happy you are. But, you become your one-stop shop. Home inspection, radon test, sewer, mold, and air quality. All of these will help you show that you are there for your client no matter what. So the more you learn, the more you can apply in your business and the more business you will get. But also as realtors, you know that you found a great inspector, not only of how thorough he is and how detailed his report is, but how good can he do the whole services, how much can he provide to your client. So follow-up and availability. All right. To me, one of the most important things, because a lot of people are 9-to-5 guys and they disappear, and actually the client is scared after reading the report and after work, let's say, they go home, they read the report, they're scared, done. So I try to be 10, 11 o'clock. It's 10 minutes to send an answer and that's it. They go to sleep happy and everybody's happy. And last here for this list, it's not ethical to do work to the houses that you inspect. That's a big conversation. To me, it's not ethical. I cannot go and say, your plumbing is bad. It's 300 more and I can fix it. Except if you start having different companies with different, like you get into too much. But as a home inspector, as outside home inspections, I cannot come and do work. But we have a network that we have people that we work together all the time. We trust. We really put our name out there when I refer these people to my clients. So do you want a plumber? Okay, you know what? I have someone that I know that he's doing a great job. I don't know his pricing. He might be expensive for you, but I know that he's doing a good job. And that makes realtors happy. That makes the clients happy. And of course, that makes me happy. So inspectors is ideal to have not any, but great trusted connections. All right. Now, sorry, as I said, I'm Greek. I will throw some Greek on you. And Zeno, as you might know him, he was a Greek philosopher that he said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we should listen more than we say. And that's kind of funny because I say that to you while you are listening and I'm the one that is talking. Okay, but this is very important. Why? Because now we go to the really important things. The most important part of this webinar for all the agents, the realtors, the clients, the inspectors, when they receive the client's 50 pages of inspection, 50, 800, 800, I'm sorry, 80 pages, they are overwhelmed. The reports might be really overwhelmed. So then the clients are stressed, they make their realtor stressed, and the realtors put pressure on us. So softwares have links now for online report, and that looks better, but still the PDF version can be pretty bad because you might have one picture in one page and that's it. So yeah, you have 50 pages, but 10 of them might be pretty much nothing and we can't do anything as home inspectors because it's the software. But in the end of the day, everything will fall in place as long as we use easy words and explain like we talk to little kids with respect, of course, but to explain to them what we found, what's the issue, and that is where we're going now. That's why you all came here. All right. So, what does it mean? These are words that you see in the report. These are words that the inspectors use, and some of these are very important, but maybe blend in there in the report. Especially when you have 50 to 80 pages, you might skip something as a client, as a realtor. So you want to pay attention to these, but also you want to understand what do they mean, because they will be repeated again and again and again. So I will try to translate them for you. And yeah, let's dive to see what do they really mean. All right. So let's say that that an inspector says there is adequate or inadequate insulation in the attic. What does that mean? It means that in the attic you might have enough or not enough insulation. Usually with the not enough might be a problem, and there is a recommendation. I recommend you to add some insulation. But the airflow in a closet, when the HVAC is in a closet, you might see that it doesn't have enough airflow. You can use that word. So as a realtor and as a client, that's what you want to read. Enough or not enough, pretty much. More is needed. Now, and again, some people might be like, oh no, I don't say that word. And I am one of those. I don't say the M word. Substance, growth, you can have any other thing, but not mold in the report. Why? Yes, we see it. It might be mold, yes. But not only its liability, but it's also educational issue for us to say that it's something without having tested it and got lab results. Okay, it's mold, yeah. What kind of mold? How dangerous? How was it there? How to solve the issue? All these are questions that you can answer from your experience as home inspector. But in the report, in order to use the word mold, I strongly suggest you to have it tested and know exactly like details of what kind and what is it and things like that. So when you see in the report substance, growth, that kind of means mold. Some they say discoloration, some they say growth, things like that. So that's very important. Now, hydrostatic, sorry, can't talk. Hydrostatic pressure. I don't have it. I don't usually use it in the report. If I do, I put it in parentheses because again, I try to talk to the clients as like little kids. I try to explain. If I say to them hydrostatic pressure, they will be like, okay, what's that? They're not professionals. They're there to just hire us and listen to us what we have to say. So I started to explain, that's when the soil pressure is on the foundation of your house, and that crack that we see there probably is connected to that. And once you start explaining, they're like, oh, okay. So save yourselves as home inspectors, and also as realtors. Now you can. I write in the report as like simple words of what the problem is and not the actual technical word. Saves time later for questions and also explains better. All right. This is a very important thing. In the report, you will see past tense. You will see at the time of inspection, observed, appeared, was. I don't say I see now. I don't say there is now. Why? Because who knows how many people went to that property after I left? Who knows what will happen after I left? There are contractors, other buyers, agents, sellers, movers, things that happen either way. Let's say that we have cold weather and after I leave, something burst and boom, you have a leak. So at the time of inspection, I saw this, I saw that. Past tense. It's important. Keep that in mind. I saw that we have some new inspectors here. Keep that in mind. It's very important. Realtors, please, now you understand why the past tense. So, discoloration or deterioration. Well, that's evidence of an issue. Let me say this. Sometimes I've been asked on the phone, like we arrange an inspection and they call me and they say, hey, George, like, should we cancel the inspection because it's a rainy day? You won't be able to go to the roof to inspect it. Let me see, if we take a minute, would you mind writing on the chat, should we skip an inspection in a rainy day? Yes or no? I will just give you like 30 seconds to see if I'd like some interaction here. All right, there we are. See, you don't need me. Ah, we got a yes. No. All right. So, again, I guess that is not right or wrong, but keep that in mind. I will give you a different perspective. What Preston said, exactly. So, let's say that it's a sunny day and I go to the attic and I will see a stain. I will see a discoloration. I will put my moisture meter there. It's dry. What will I write in the report? I will go in the report and I will say, okay, hey, I saw that and I put my moisture meter and it's dry at time of the inspection, right? Okay, the next day, let's say, they will go to the house, starts raining, there is a leak. Let's take the other way around. Let's say that we go on a rainy day. It's true, I won't be able to walk on the roof. I won't be able to fly the drone. But what will I be able to see? Active leaks. If something is active, I will get it. I will catch it. And that's really important. I can go another day really quick and see if the singles, how they look from the outside. Like I don't have to have access to the house, right? I can arrange again and go on the top. But the main thing is that I went to the attic in a rainy day and I didn't find any leaks. In the report, I also would write that I did not inspect the shingles or the roof on the exterior because of the weather. High winds, snow, rain, all this count, okay? As long as we report it, we have to report everything that we inspect or we do not inspect and why we did not inspect it. So, discoloration, deterioration. It can be, as I said, evidence, or it can be something active that I see. Discoloration will be something like a stain, and deterioration would be something that it's broken, something that it's damaged, right? Thank you for participating in the chat. I like that. Now, suspect. I know a lot of inspectors will say now that suspect actually is not recommended for inspection reports, but in real life there is a point that you can actually use it. Now, why it's not allowed? Because usually you are there to, as we said, observe and report, not to suspect. You cannot imagine, you cannot assume things. But there is a point that only like with evidence of like 2+ points, you can make connections. Let's say, okay, let's say that inspection is like a puzzle that we put together all the pieces, right? So we go to inspect a wall and we see a stain, discoloration. Is it wet? Yes. Okay, why? What happened there? Is there a line in behind the drywall that runs and leaks? Is it on near the window and there is a flashing that is leaking? So you go to the interior, you check, click, okay. You go to the exterior, you check, click, okay. You go to the attic, might be at least here in Georgia we have them, the furnace up there in the attic. So maybe that's leaking and it goes in behind the drywall and you see the stain in one spot on the drywall, on the wall. So all these, you have to not just see one area, you have to see all the surrounding area and figure out where is it coming from. A lot of times you can, a lot of times you can't. And if I go in the interior wall and I say a stain, but on the exterior I see that it's missing the flashing or there is a gap, then I will put both in the report and I will say, I found this stain that it's wet and excessive moisture or so, or something. And then this is the view on the exterior. Suspect connection. Then you, in my opinion at least, you are allowed to say you suspect that. But of course, you have to recommend further review, evaluation, and repair as needed by a licensed contractor. Now, we go to the last one. Review, repair, replace by a licensed contractor or qualified contractor. In a lot of situations, a home inspector has to be either licensed or certified. If you are not, if you are in Georgia, the home inspectors they are not expected to be licensed. They don't need to. They are not required. But that's why we go through InterNACHI. We get our certificate, and we become master inspectors. And in general, we try to provide information to the clients and the realtors that, hey, we know what we are doing. Well, similar to that, I cannot suggest a handyman that he just knows things to go to repair something in a house that I inspect. I recommend a licensed contractor, I recommend a licensed roofer, a licensed plumber, someone that can support his repairs and have liability, and someone that he will not disappear after he repairs something and do a handyman job, meaning a non-professional job of, it works, it works. That it's not technically correct, but practically it works. I don't like that. I want everything to be right. So these are the main things that you will see in a report. I know that I might skip some, but also we have limited time here. So these are the main things that you will see as a realtor in the report again and again. And especially when you use the same home inspector, it's good to know what exactly does he mean with what he says and what he writes. and make it easy for you and your client when they call you and they ask, hey, like, what does he mean there? So I will have a couple of things to say, a few more things to say, and then we will be done. But key sections of the report. Again, not all the inspectors around US will have the same categories. I think that most do, but keep in mind, we are not all in the same boat. We are not doing the same thing, and we do not use the same softwares either way. All right. I will start with the summary. In my report, the summary is listed last. But it's something that I recommend verbally to the realtor and to the client that uses me to read first. It's like a blurb, like a summary on the back of the book that explains the plot and makes you buy the book or not. That's what my summary is. By listing the summary last also motivates hopefully the clients to review the whole report until they reach the summary. But it's the most important things that I found. Now follow, because we have a few things here to say. First of all, my report goes as I go, like roof, exterior, interior, attic, and things like that. But then it splits to major, minor, and tips. The major are the most important issues, deficiencies, things that I see per inspector, per me, because the client might consider something else important. For example, I go to the crawl space and I find substance, growth. Yeah, that M word that we don't say, mold, everywhere in the crawl space. Well, some will say, this is the house I want. I don't care. I will spend 10K, 10,000 extra to fix it. Some will walk away. They will be like, no, I don't deal with that. I have it in the summary. I have it in the major. I have it like, hey, this is a health issue. This is a problem. This is expensive too. For some, though, it's not. For some, they're like, no, I don't care. So again, the major are important issues per inspector. It's all in the eye of the beholder and his pocket a lot of times. Now, minor things, I put them there because also it eliminates questions. I say, you see that patch, you see that dry stain in the kitchen ceiling? Well, I saw it too, and it's dry. I put my moisture meter, it's dry. Nothing to worry, but I want you to know that I saw it. It's there, it's in the report. Instead of them calling me when they move in and they say, hey, you didn't say anything about the patch. Is it a problem? Can you come back to see it? What's going on? Great communication is a key. And then you have the tips, that it's tips, for maintenance, some sealant caulking around windows, openings, things like that. And after you the client purchases the house, they will know that, oh, okay, I can go to my report and see a list of things that I can do to maintain my house yearly. And I like to provide that to my clients. Takes more time, but when they leave that nice 5-star review, you know that you did the right thing. And last but not least, privacy. I talked earlier about the softwares, that all the inspectors might use different softwares. privacy is something very important to me, and it should be to you as a realtor, to you as an inspector, to you as a homeowner, seller, buyer, to everyone. How much an inspector cares about you as the client or the realtor, and the safety and your safety is very important. How would you all feel here, for example, if I get the email or your login information and I sell them, or I give them to someone else that can use them to sell you stuff? That's exactly what's happening with a lot of softwares. They take the information that we type in, the client's email, name, phone number, sometimes even credit card stuff. That's why you have to have really good, secure protocols. And what do? They take them, and either they use them to call our clients for to sell stuff like internet connection, security programs, warranties, and things like that, or they sell them to other companies and then they get money. There are some inspectors that they know these things, and from those inspectors, some that they care and some that they don't. I care. That's why the software that I use, I made sure from the beginning to ask, and the owner said that he does not give any information. They are private. So yeah, and there are some other inspectors that they don't know these things. They don't know that their own software does that. So it's a good opportunity if you are one of them to get to know it now. So maybe a good question would be to ask your inspector, am I secure with you? Is my privacy secure? Am I still keeping everything private when I choose you? So keep that in mind. I do see one question. I see it. I will answer soon, Tom. Now do me a favor. Write in the chat as well, or please let me know verbally if you enjoyed the webinar, if you learned something, even if it was one thing new, that would be great. I would love that. Some of you might agree, and some of you might not agree with some things that I said, but for inspectors, I hope that I said something that really worth to consider it, to use it in your business. For the realtors and agents that we have here, I hope that you can read between the lines now of the report and or understand the report better. For the homeowners, buyers, sellers, I hope now that you understand how you can ask, what you can ask, and how you can choose a good inspector. And I hope you will read the whole report and understand better now. And this might not be all all written the same way from all the inspectors around USA again, but it's a good template to have for now. I would love to hear any questions. I think we have a few minutes to answer, and all right. As I said, this is my first webinar, so I will try to answer all the questions from the beginning that I see. I appreciate that you all got some good information here. Now, Tom asks, which software do I use? I'm not trying to sell anything. I personally use Inspector Toolbelt. Ian Robinson is the owner, and one thing that I love about them is that even on a Sunday when I had a question, that I had a problem, they solved it within literally 10 minutes. Their customer service is amazing. I don't know how they do it. And then the privacy is important. And the great communication. I made my own template, and honestly, I recommend them. But yeah, not trying to sell it. Just answer the question. All right. I think I appreciate all the good comments. Do we have any other questions? All right. Well, if you don't have any other questions, yeah, that would be it. You can feel free to exit.